Hello, friends. I hope you are enjoying your holidays. Um, this video continues discussion on Dataflow Gen2, which is part of Microsoft Fabric. In the last few videos, we learned creating data flow and applying table transformations. Today, we are exploring column transformations, and I am excited to take you to that journey. The Power Query's M language, which is at the base of Dataflow Gen2's transformation engine, is very powerful and rich. When it comes to column transformations, there are lots of column transformations, and covering all of them will take many hours. However, I'll cover some transformation which I find the most interesting, and I would encourage you to explore others and play around these functions. Um, I'll start with index column transformation, which can be used to generate your surrogate keys when you are working on dimensional models. Then I'll explain how to use data type conversions. Next, I'll cover date transforms, which allows you to extract certain parts of your date fields. Then I'll show how to use extract transformations, which allows you to extract certain parts of your text fields. Next, I'll go cover to split column transformation, which works similar to extract transform, except it creates multiple columns from your text field. Next, I'm going to cover add column from example transformation, which is very convenient and a powerful function transformation, especially in cases where it's not easy to create extraction from your text field using the other transformation methods. Next, I'm going to explain how to use add custom column transformation, which you can use to come up with pretty much any transformation which is available within Power Query. Next, I'm going to cover conditional column transformation. And then I'll cover parse transformation, which works similar way to extract transformation. Finally, I'm gonna cover cluster values transformation. If you are new to my channel, please take a moment and subscribe so that you could always be up to date with my latest videos. With that brief introduction, let's jump into the demo. All right, I am in newly created data flow in Microsoft Fabric, and I'll start with ingesting data source. So I'll have CSV file on my local machine, and I will import it into data flow by heading up to home, and from here get data text CSV. And from here, I'm going to use upload file button and select browse, and I will select my CSV file. This CSV file contains data from people table from worldwide importer database, which is Microsoft open source database. I have select so this, and it contains people information. So if I click next, it will show me a data sample. So we have names, email information. If I scroll to the right, we have some JSON data, so user preferences in JSON format. We have phone numbers, another JSON column with custom fields, and we have some date fields. I'm gonna hit create. Um, by the way, I will place a link for this file in my video description in case you want to experiment with that. So that imports my file. As a warm-up exercise, I'll start with easy transformations. Index column is one of the easiest transformations, and to add it, I will head up to Add Column tab, and from here select Index Column. Next step is to select index base, so it can start from 0, 1, or any custom number. I'm going to select 1 as a base, and that adds my index column. As I mentioned earlier, index column could be very helpful on generating your surrogate keys if you are building your dimensional model in Lakehouse. The next easy transformation is data type conversions. So you may have noticed that we have data types assigned to each column in Dataflow. These icons at the top left corner represent its data types. So this, for example, it represents whole number data type. So this is string type, text type, um, and so on and so forth. And we have date field here. So this icon represents the date field. And changing data types is very easy. All you need to do is just right click and select that command from your context menu. So for example, if I want to change data type of one of these columns, which seems to be a Boolean type, so all I need to do is right click, and from here select change type, and from here select right type. So this is going to be true or false in this case. Next, let's take a look at another set of easy transformations, which are date transformations. So I have date field here, and let's say I want to extract months or year information from here. So I can select my column, and from here I can navigate to date command, and from here I can say I want to extract months, for example. So that extracts months information. The next transformation we are going to explore is extract transformation. So that can be helpful to extract certain parts of your text fields. So let's say this is my email or username information, and I want to extract first part of this. And so we have delimiter here. I'm gonna head up to add columns tab, and from here I can use extract, and you can see we have multiple options. So let's say I want to extract the first part. So in this case it's gonna be text before delimiter, and I'll put my delimiter here. So that extracted the first part of my username, and I can rename it if needed. Let's take a look at slightly more advanced scenario. So let's say we have phone information, and how do I extract country information or area information from phone? So I'll select my column and head up to extract, and I will use text between delimiters. So here I can say my start delimiter is going to be parentheses and parentheses for as end delimiter, and click OK. So that extracts my area information. The next transformation we are going to cover is split column transformation, which works similar way to extract, except it creates multiple columns. So if I scroll to my, so for example, if I take this valid from column, and from here I can select my column and say split column and select one of this. So let's say by delimiter. And here I can select from existing delimiters or put a custom delimiter here. I'll put dash here and click OK. So that created 3 columns. The next transformation I'm going to explore is add column from example transformation. So that's a very helpful transformation if it's not easy to express exact location of the data that you are going to extract from your column. So for example, in my phone number column, I want to extract the first 3 digits of the area code. So I'll select my column, head up to column from example, and we'll select from selection. And from here, all you need is just to type the values that from this column. So in this case, it's going to be 555. As you can see, Power Query was able to figure out that data for all rows. And if I am happy with that, I'll just confirm, and that will create the custom column. Next, let's take a look at add custom column transformation, which is probably one of the most powerful transformations. You can do it from custom column button. So first thing is to name your column. So let's say I want to generate timestamp, so ingestion timestamp for my data. So I'll say insert timestamp, date time. And from here, I can use combination of native functions as well as available columns. So in this case, I don't need columns. I'll just use one of the available functions to generate current date time. So I'll put date time. And you can learn more about available functions using this below link. I'll hit OK. So that generated my current date time. Let's explore conditional column, which can be useful in situations when you have to generate your column values based on certain conditions. So let's say I have so we have this text font area. So let me rename this actually. So I'll say area code. So let's say based on this area code, I want to generate city information. So I'll select this column, head up to conditional column, and from here I'll name my column as city and say if, and then I have to put conditions. So So let's say if my area code equals to, and I can change any of these comparison operators, equals to 415. So then my value will be Seattle. And I can add another condition which says if my area code is equals to 218, make it um, Washington. And so on and so forth. I can add as many conditions as I want. And then I can add the last condition, which says if my area code is none of this, so if none of these conditions are satisfied, then assign this value. So let's say unknown city. Okay, so now let's talk about parse transformation. So parse transformation, as the name suggests, allows you to parse your text columns. So here we have user preferences column, which has JSON, and we have some fields within that, so theme, date format, etc. So let's try to parse this column. I'll select my column and head up to parse on the parse command. And from here, I'll select JSON. So I can select XML or JSON, but I'll select my JSON. So this creates record type of column. If I take a quick look at record, each record, it has those fields underneath. So let me navigate back. Okay, and if I want to extract certain parts of this record, I can do it by using custom column. So I'll select this column, go to add column, and select custom column. I'll call theme. I can use one of the functions available for handling record types, record data types. So I'll put record and say field. And from here, I have to select my column. And then I have to provide field name. Hit OK. So that extract theme field from my JSON. The last transformation that I'm going to cover today is a cluster values transformations. So this allows you to generate new values based on similarities in another column, which can be very helpful when cleansing some dirty data from your data sources. So if you remember, if you have watched my previous videos on table transformations, we had some similar transformations there. So for example, aggregations, group by transformation, which allows you to do matching based on fuzzy conditions. So cluster values works similar way. So to to show that, to demonstrate that, let me pick up one column here. So let's say this is a column that I have extracted. So let me rename that. So this is data representing my usernames. Let's say I have some typos there. To generate the column without typos, or the cleans data, so with cleans data, all I need to do is just select this column and head up to cluster values transformation. And from here, I'll insert new column, and I'll name this column cleans it username. And here I can play with similarity threshold and to make sure that I get required results. And then I'll need to hit OK. That concludes today's session. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer in your comments in the comment section. Thanks for watching and happy learning.